what's happened this week and what's happening this upcoming week. So yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was about to ask, what have you created? You know, what have you, it's yeah, it's a pleasure to just see it all come together and see what's playing out. I think it's really great. And I don't want to overstate it at all, but it speaks for itself, and may it continue. I think yeah, we will talk a bit more about it during this session. But yeah, thanks, and to the community. I think I was just looking at the stats earlier, and things are really coming along. Okay, so it's 5 minutes past the hour. We will be kicking off now. And again, let me just apologize that we had to bring the spaces that we normally host on Sundays. We had to bring it forward, and that's because I am traveling, and you may hear noise in the background. Just know it's not my usual location, and therefore, please do bear with me if there's noise coming or there's noise in the background that you hear. Okay, so we're going to start in our usual manner. We'll go through the stats, Titanx protocol stats, and I think, as I normally state, for those of us who are new, every Titanx protocol has a similar breakdown of information as we have with the Titanx protocol itself. And the Titanx protocol is the base protocol, Titanx being the base currency. And so this exercise takes us through what's happening, and I call it the vitals of the Titanx. It tells us whether we're heading in the right direction, the right direction being a deflation and eventually becoming hyper deflation. So, or if you like, eventually pretty much into the hyper deflationary environment that we're all, well, if you've been a regular here, you would know that that's really what the aim is. In any case, we'll go through the stats, Titanx stats. Then, of course, we'll have our build on Titanx protocol or protocols updates from our founders, starting with Mike. And I'll give a quick update on where we are with our first anniversary prep, and of course the 369 event that we're all looking forward to. I think we are expecting in excess of 6 million USD worth of ETH to be disbursed or claimed on day 369, which would be, I think, the 31st of this month of October. So it's really a big week for us. As in, we're approaching really a big week, and it is an opportunity for all of us, including our newcomers, to better understand Titanx and the value proposition, what this protocol brings to the market. On that note, I think we're all aware that we have scheduled an introduction to the Titanx ecosystem to be held on Wednesday. And I think Wednesday being the 23rd, I think it's 23rd of course of this month, and it's sort of some 5 minutes past 5 GMT time. Sorry, I'm trying to be as exact as possible, but let me just get that out there. That is also going to be a major session, and it's going to be an opportunity for us to engage with those who are interested in the Titanx ecosystem. And I think it's a good session leading into our conference, so that we all go there with a base knowledge that can give us a platform to build on, as in build knowledge wise. Okay, that's a mouthful, but anyway, I've got that out there. So I am on the stats page of the Titanx website. My God, I just, you just look at this and you wonder, is this, one expected it to play out, of course, you know, properly the way it's played out, but it is just happening so beautifully. And I've just got to make, it's my usual way, but I'm sorry if I'm dragging this out, but you know, I just got to have to be careful not to overstate. The facts are there, but we own in percentage terms. If you look at the pie, it's 21.83% of all Titanx tokens that were mined and claimed. Just 21% of the entire Titanx that's been ever mined and claimed. And that is really fascinating, particularly when you look at the build on Titanx BOT protocols. You look at that, and you have 23%, 23.26%. That's a slice of the pie that's you know, that's been taken by your build on Titanx protocol. So it's either they've either burnt the tokens or locked them up or staked these tokens. And you've moved on to, you take a look at the buy and burn. In percentage terms, you have 35.45% of all Titanx tokens that have been mined and claimed so far have been bought and burnt. So what this is telling us, actually, if you take the build on the BOT protocols, the build on Titanx protocols, and you look at the percentage amount or even the fixed amount in terms of numbers, you look at that, and you also look at your buy and burn individually. These two exceed the amount of Titanx that is circulating. So your circulating supply. That is really something. Particularly when you look, only a few weeks ago, we were in excess of 70 trillion Titanx tokens in circulation. So it means if you look at since Hydra was launched, and we've got several other protocols. So you've had Hydra, you've had Volt, you've had Element 280, you've had Awesome, you had I believe Flux also launched in that time. Recently, of course, this week we had Alien X at launch. So these protocols have actually consumed, and let's look at it. Yeah, almost, let's say, well, in excess of 25 trillion tokens. And there are still more projects in the pipeline. So it's good. And we're heading in the right direction. I think that's all that we can say here, and keep it really modest. I think it's important that we keep it we're modest about this, but at the same time we just keep grinding, and because there's nothing less that will do. We're heading in the right direction. This is an experiment that is working so far, and the platform is being built for bigger things to occur. Okay, so on that note, let me just move on to Titanx Hub. That's Mike Dean's Titanx Hub for those of us who are new, and this, and I'm actually on the general website, not on the premium side of the website, but yeah, the general website. And here you have the ecosystem market cap now is 305 million USD, of course. You have the ecosystem volume is in excess of 8 million USD. Total Titanx burnt so far, depending whether you're American or a Brit. So you have over 96 trillion Titanx that has been burnt so far. Titanx uses in excess of 17.7 thousand. That is a growing ecosystem. We were actually, I think, around 30, sorry, I think 15 for quite some time. And yeah, it is heading in the right direction. In any case, we are looking, yeah, that's looking good. I think last spaces, if memory serves me right, last spaces, we were under 200 million USD in terms of market cap. We're about 150, or anywhere between 150, 170 USD market cap. We're now nearly twice that amount. And that is, yeah, so we're not another 3x, another 3.5x will take us over the 1 billion market cap threshold. And that, of course, is for the entire ecosystem, the entire Titanx ecosystem. When you look at Titanx itself, it's over 140 million USD market cap. And that of course means that, probably another 8x. If you've got an 8x with Titanx, that will push it above the 1 billion market cap threshold as well. Now, I still say, when you look at everything that has occurred in the last few weeks, as fantastic as it has been, this is really just the warm up. We haven't yet started. ETH hasn't started its run yet, and we know that Titanx is a leverage play on ETH. For those who are not aware, and we haven't yet entered our hyper deflationary phase yet. If you look at the buy and burn pools, and we don't really spend that much time on the buy and burn pool, or we haven't recently. But if you look at those pools, they haven't really been turned on yet. And so just imagine getting into our hyper deflationary phase come end of this month onwards. I think December, really, I mean, we're expecting about 4 trillion tokens, Titanx tokens to be claimed. 4 trillion tokens to be claimed next month. That's November. That is pretty much nothing, because we're expecting quite a number of protocols to be launched as well next month. But long and short of it, you get into December, there's hardly anything coming out. So now add the buy and burn to that, add the pressure that continues to build from our buy and burn, from our build on Titanx protocols. It's just, I mean, it's only one direction that this thing would head towards, and it would head north, I think. So, folks, I think we're heading in the right direction. We have now 17 protocols within the Titanx ecosystem, including Titanx itself. Next week, I think next week we're expecting Lotus to launch. That's on the 26th of this month. And if you look at the list, there are quite a few other protocols there. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. I think I've taken up enough time introducing our ecosystem, but it really it's a pleasure to see what's happening, and we must carry on and continue the good work. Mike, I'm going to hand over to you now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Plan A. As we usually say, red candles, green candles, we always hear it. And today on a Saturday. And why? Because Plan A is traveling today. So nevertheless, green candles, red candles, even if Plan A is traveling, we're going to still be doing this. So this is great. Yeah, so I'm glad you guys are all here today. Also the guys on YouTube as well. So thank you for listening in. So I have some few things here on top of my head, and one probably is the one which I just pinned at the top, and that is just 27 minutes ago actually, and that is regarding the Titanx farm section on the Titanx sub portfolio tracker, and that is live now. And as far as I could, I mean, as far as I could test, everything seems to be working pretty well. So hopefully that will not have any big issues, but it is working. This took way longer than expected because there was some few things which were not working correctly, but nevertheless it is working now, and I'm very happy with the result. Yeah, so essentially, well, since I woke up until now, that was what I was doing. So I'm glad that this works now, and yeah, let's see how get the feedback from some of you guys. Hopefully it just works, and then that's all I want, to be honest. And that will be the better thing. By the way, for the new people here, the Titanx portfolio tracker is it's a portfolio tracker. Yes, that's one, but it's actually focused on the bill on Titanx project. So if you have, let's say, Hydra miners, Titanx miners, or Hyper miners, you're gonna see them as well in the portfolio tracker. And it's also one of the big thing is, this is something which is dearly to my heart, is the privacy friendly part. So there is no wallet connect. Everything runs locally on your browser, and you can add as many addresses as you want, essentially. So I think that's pretty good. And yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, it's completely free. Just check it out on titanxsub.com/portfolio. Yeah, so that was regarding the Titanx farms. The other thing which is somewhat exciting is I think we saw Callum, the new streamer. He just announced, was it like 2 days ago? I'm working pretty much all day, every day. So sometimes I'm not sure how many days apart things are actually. But I think a few days ago, Callum announced that he's building Phoenix. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. I think he's going to drop the white paper soon. And yeah, just in case you want to join the Telegram to get more information, you can, yeah, just go to titanx.com, check out the upcoming projects, and you'll see that. And you're going to find all the other upcoming projects there as well. And I know for sure Steve DeFi, I did tell him that I'm going to update all the new Vault projects in the morning. Last night I was a bit tired, but I jumped on to do uh, the portfolio tracker. I was working on it, so I did forget that. But anyhow, Steve, I will update that still today, definitely before I go to sleep. So that's definitely what I'm gonna do. And probably lastly, regarding one thing, probably regarding Matrix, there is testing going on currently. There's a new test setup I'm currently preparing, which is going to simplify a lot of things. So that's something which I'm working on right now. And yeah, so once the testing has progressed a little bit, I might give us some few teasers out as well. I have received from the UI designer yesterday the first design. So we're gonna go through some few iteration and to get the site well done, because I want to make it beautiful. Well, something like Titanic sub, I like it, make it look nice. That's also very good. But yeah, if there's any updates or so, I'll just post them on the Telegram or on Twitter as well. So if you want to join there, yeah, you can just go and visit the Telegram as well. So don't want to keep you for too long. I've ordered some food. I'm very hungry. So yeah, I'll give it to others here, the builders. Thank you, and talk to you soon.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks a lot. James, I can hand over to you. Dude, Steve, and Paul, sir. That's Crypto Kool-Aid. And I see Vibra Finance is here. So definitely, I mean, if you wanted to, of course, join and, of course, and go over your project, that'd be great. Okay. Baby Dragon X, James, over to you.
I believe you called on me first, and I was happy that you did that. I've actually got some food coming in a while too. So if I could give my little 60-second, 2-minute thing here at the beginning, I'd really love it.
Okay, fire away.
So first of all, thanks everyone. Plan A, we appreciate that you're able to move this ahead. We know you're a busy guy, you know, doing all kinds of stuff. Mike Dean, thank you for always improving and enhancing Titanx Hub. I refer to that all the time inside our chats, and I'm a premium member myself too. So a little bit about Baby Dragon X. So Baby Dragon X, for anyone who happens to be new, was the second meme coin in the Titanx ecosystem. The first fully doxed meme coin, but the second actual meme coin, because JakeX came out a little bit before us. So we've had a great run up. I see so many new holders coming in, and they're buying $500 at a clip, $1,000 at a clip. So definitely people are interested, and I think the reason they're interested is because we've got this new protocol coming called Scale. So Scale is a built on Titanx and built on Hydra protocol. So you actually use your Titanx or ETH to mint your Scale during the 14-day fair launch. And you get your Scale immediately. However, it's not tradable until after the 14 days. So very similar to what we did with Baby Dragon X, 14-day fair launch. You don't have to rush. There's no percentages that, you know, a day or two later, you're not getting less. Take your time, make sure the gas is cheap, like sometimes it is, and grab as much Scale as you'd like to, minting Titanx or ETH. So whenever we go, quote, live on day 15, some things that are going to happen is we're going to build a handful of liquidity pools, and we do have the white paper published. We are going to actually add it to the Baby Dragon X site, but for now, you just swing by the Telegram. You can get it. We got it pinned in there and such. So we're going to build a handful of liquidity pools during the 14-day fair launch, which won't be active until the day of that we kick off. So Scale BDX, Scale in Hydra, Scale in Dragon X, Scale in E280, Scale in Awesome X, my good friend Dave, and maybe Scale in Viper. If Viper is fully launched and looks good, we are going to see if we can squeeze a little bit in there. What you did not hear is you didn't hear a Titanx pair. We're going to do that separately. We're going to do that outside of the protocol, and there'll be a, don't know how big that'll be. Might be a couple $2,000 to $5,000, just to increase liquidity there. But we didn't want to build it in for a couple of reasons. Another interesting thing about Scale is it'll be one of the first tokens that you can get reflections on. I believe there's another token launched recently, also has reflections. We are impressed with them. We came up with the idea a long time ago, but it's taken us, you know, a while to build Scale because it's fairly complex actually. Audit number 1 has completed 2 days ago. Audit number 2 is in process. Just 2 days into it. It's going to take a while. This is like I said, this is a fairly sophisticated protocol because one of the utilities is that we create Hydra miners with it. So you got to delve into this white paper because when you mint your Scale, you're getting a piece of the action in a couple different ways. When you hold the Scale, you are going to get additional Scale reflected to you because of our tax system. You are also participating in Hydra miners. So there's a couple admin keys in here where we don't withdraw those. We don't withdraw the Titanx. We actually can turn the miners different days. We're not going to go the low ones, right? We're going to be doing 15-day, 30-day, 45, 60 plus days. I think that's it. I don't want to go too far into it because there's going to be some different streams. I'm going to be streaming with my good friend Dave tomorrow around, how many hours is that from here? Around 20 hours from now. We've got to post it on the Baby Dragon X handle and the JCG Tech Future. We'll have it posted in the Telegram. So he's going to be our first. He'll be our first streamer. So he's the founder himself. So we'll see how much he wants to talk about Awesome X, which I know he will. And I can't wait to get on there. And we've got about 6 additional streams where we're just talking to the other streamers, you know, figuring out what date and time works well for them. So we'll be sticking around here. You know, if you have any questions, please do ask. Swing by the Telegram. That's where you get all the answers. We got a bunch of friendly mods and community members and very helpful, you know, holders themselves who can help answer questions. So thanks for your time, and pass it off to the next person.
Sorry about this, dude. If I may just you know, sort of butt in a bit. Thanks a lot, James. I think I just needed to mention this, just a bit of housekeeping. Should have mentioned it earlier. My apologies, but can we, you know, James, you're absolutely right. So this is high level, and there are going to be streams by you know, founders, our founders, and of course that will be announced to you know, the community as we go along. But I think the point I'm trying to make is, let's keep this to 3 to 4 minutes. This initial session, there's going to be question time, of course, after you know, afterwards. So this is pretty much very high level, 3 to 4 minutes, and we move, kind of move it along, if that's okay. Well, dude, over to you.
Great, thanks. Real quick, I use Titanx Hub, the portfolio tracker. You can paste not just your address, but any address in there. So I use it to view, like I can paste in the Helios Treasury into there, and then I can view all of the staked amounts and the payouts and all that. You could do that to follow the DragonX Treasury or any whale wallets, not just your own wallets, just throwing that out there. But yeah, let's talk about Element 280 real quick. We are about a week in to the minting, the first 28 days of minting, and it is going fantastic. 3.1 trillion has come in so far. I'm so grateful for all the participants to come in, and this is just performing way better than anyone could have expected. We've already seen 777 NFTs burned, which is quite interesting to see. And in the first week, we have 18% of the supply already burned with our 90% buy and burn. But I would say the most interesting stat here is we have weekly payouts to our NFT holders, and our first week, so we had a 24-hour period to pay out the day one NFT minters, and now we're on a weekly schedule. For this week, we've got $315,000 in rewards about to be distributed in 20 hours and 26 minutes. I'm just so impressed with that. That's amazing numbers. I think last I checked, that's about % of the cost of an NFT you're getting back immediately. So the amount of rewards is just amazing to see. So if you don't have an NFT yet, maybe you go check out the website. Definitely read the white paper if you haven't yet. And then also real quick, we've got Element 369 that has gone into audit, or it's going into audit on Monday. And we're excited to kind of, you know, I don't want to give too much about it just yet, but this is obviously a build on Element 280 project, and it is in utilizing the Inferno/Flux kingdom. So it's kind of like a specialization into that area. So that'll be interesting to see coming out very soon. But yeah, thanks for coming, and please let me know if you got any questions.
Great, thanks, dude. Steve, over to you.
Hey guys, am I loud and clear?
Yes, you are.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, so first, just congrats to the launches this week. Alien X, Ouroboros, awesome stuff. It's great to see projects coming out. And that Titanx is being taken off the system. It's really interesting to watch it go down and down and down and down. So great, kudos to those guys. Awesome. Vault highlights. The big highlight this week, today we were #1 on Ethereum for the 3rd time. For about 6 hours, #1 on Ethereum of everything. So they saw Vault and they saw it paired with Titanx. So it's Vault evangelism going on in the rankings on Dex Screener. So that's awesome to see. Fascinating to see Vault unfold as a tokenomics never seen in DeFi before. So I'm interested to watch. I'm interested to see and just observe how it plays out. Almost 1/4 of entire supply of Vault is burnt forever, which is amazing to see. So new people here, what is Vault? It's a fairly distributed, deflationary cap supply token with a buy and burn on steroids. Simple on the outside, beautiful mechanics under the hood. And the thing I'm most proud of in Vault is that 10-day distribution period. And like along with things like the Titanx distribution and some other things, it was just an epic moment in DeFi for me to see that distribution. The perpetual auction system of Vault is ongoing in a deflationary cap supply coin. So that is fascinating too. So read the white paper. I'm going to drop it in the comments to hook up. So what about Vault Future and the Vault Vision? I call it the Vault Vision. Vault Vision is everything coming out has Vault in the tokenomics. Everything will have a Vault in the tokenomics. And the Vault Vision centers on the pillars and the wheel. So it's like Titanx is the foundation. The core is Vault with its roots in Titanx, standing on Titanx. It's like this ball, and out springs these spokes called the pillars, and then around the pillars is wrapped the wheel. So they're the two big things coming out: pillars and the wheel. So the Vault pillars, it's Vault technology. What are the Vault pillars? It's Vault technology using Titanx ecosystem altcoins with a new buy and burn mechanic I've called the Nexus buy wheel. And Rector Richards just did an awesome video on the Nexus buy wheel, just explaining it beautifully. I posted it, and so that is great. Definitely check it out. It's so the Vault pillars. It's just what you see in Vault, but with new technology under the hood, never before seen in DeFi, and this is known as the Nexus buy wheel. So the first one to come out is Viper. The first Vault pillar is Viper. It's on Dragon X, 8th of the 11th we're looking at. The code is done, front end done. I've showed it on stream. It's beautiful. Audits for Viper start Monday. It's Viper is the first Vault wheel. It's going to be fascinating. Streams this week. I got Mo on Tuesday, Crypto Kindness Wednesday, and Unity in DeFi. Right after this show, it's featuring Lotus. It's featuring Lotus. Lotus Deep Dive with a special guest. Rector Richards is coming on. We've secured Rector Richards on Unity and DeFi to talk all things Vault and especially Lotus, because Lotus launches next week and it's built on Vault. It incorporates Vault in its tokenomics, which is amazing and exciting to see. Titanx conference. The last thing to say about it's on the Titanx conference. I'm in a team with Chiz, Justin, and Viber Finance. Everyone knows Chiz, the master DeFi expert. Justin, founder of Lotus, and Viber Finance. He's massive on Pulse Chain. He loves Titanx, interviewing people all over the ecosystem on Titanx. An amazing team player, and he thankfully agreed to be part of the Titanx conference team with us. So we're really excited and blessed to have Viber on the team. And he's also launched his own project on Titanx with a few others, which is Morpheus. It's brilliant to see. Also, a massive big shout out to Josh, Bad Sports, amazing organization on the high level, like getting all the teams running with ideas, scheduling, momentum forward, just fantastic stuff. Big shout out to Josh, Bad Sports, awesome stuff. Just great, keeping everyone in line, brilliant stuff. So Vault, check Vault out. Vault pillars coming, audits start tomorrow on Viper. I'll put the Telegram down below. Thank you guys for the time, and yeah, we'll talk later.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Rainman, over to you. And after you, Giftwork, and Up to you then, and give way. Take care, and we're listening.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing fantastic. On this Saturday, it feels weird to say that, right? Normally Sunday, but yeah, Mike and Plan A, thanks for hosting as normal. Congrats to everybody that launched this week with some successful launches, and huge congrats to Steve. DeFi being number one on Ethereum. It's just such an incredible accomplishment, not only for him, but just for the entire Titanx ecosystem abroad, in my opinion. And, like Plan A was saying at the beginning, just the numbers and the stats are they're just kind of mind blowing at this point, and just getting a lot of attention and the unity of everybody working together is in liquidity bonding and teams crossing over, working with other teams and building projects and coming together. Guys from Pulse Chain coming over and different communities is just really impressive. And so that's just epic in my opinion. Jay created a monster and a bunch of little monsters. But they're benevolent monsters, right? So one thing, Lotus, the 26th, I'm really excited about it. I appreciate everybody's support that's been in the Telegram and join the Twitter, the white paper. I'm going to post a link to it in the comments below and a Telegram link, as well as the Twitter link too. It's pretty complicated to just go into in 2 to 4 minutes. And like Steve said, we're going to be on a stream with Chiz and myself and Steve and AI and after this, and that's going to be epic. And it's going to be about 2:15 on Steve's channel and my Titanx Visions channel as well. Just to update, the first audits are completely done. Second audit is pretty much completely done. Talking to them this morning, they were actually complimenting the devs on how solid the code was, so really happy about that. And this whole week, we're just going to be digging in hard as far as testing the front end integration and making sure everything is moving exactly how it should be and all the pieces fit together in the puzzle with that. So it's real technical. I'm going to be doing my best to get on streams, right? So within the testing space between, looking forward, me and Mike, we're trying to find a time to do a deep dive. I'm hoping we will this week. If not, it'll be after, which is all good. We keep going back and forth with DMs. Everybody's super busy. So if anybody has any questions for me, come into the Telegram, come into the stream after the space, ask them, and we'll answer them for you. And super chill, just talking about DeFi and everything that's going on in the ecosystem. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday, and thanks for the platform.
Giveaway. And thanks, Raymond. Thank you.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. Well, first off, I'm here to apologize. Kool-Aid is normally our high energy guy and likes to do a lot of good narratives for us, but he had to do an all-nighter. So he was here, but then he had to catch his nap. So unfortunately, you're stuck with me. I'm not as good and fluent as he is, but I'll do my best. I guess the biggest news is we've got our initial audit back finally, and good news is it came back perfect. So there's not really any need for a second audit, but I am going to push them to run an audit on our mainnet, just to check the boxes for anybody who wants to see it, really. But I think that's pretty exciting. We got a stream with Mo, I believe, coming up here soon. That'll be fun. I did notice, however, that they want to ask me about not being listed on the Titanx hub. So I was really hoping I could get some clarity on that, and maybe it was just this last audit that we just launched today. Maybe that'll be enough, but if it's okay, would you guys feel comfortable speaking on that a little bit?
We can definitely do that. Yes,
wait, I think we could do that late. Yeah. Sorry, Mike. Didn't mean to talk over you. Good, crypto, awesome. So we can do that after our BOT summaries. Crypto, awesome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Right on. Thanks so much for having me. And I sorry I jumped on a little bit late. I'm so used to the Sunday, but this is great. I'm so glad you guys are doing this. Just a quick update. Literally, our mint cycle just ended, our second mint cycle, and on AwesomeX, and we have now brought in 1.3 trillion Titanx total through the first 2 mint cycles, and our buy and burn just got bumped up over $1 million again. I believe. Let me look at this really quick. I believe we are 15.8% of the total supply has been burned forever already in the first week. We have, let's see, a total number, I think, of $332,000 worth of AwesomeX has been burned in the first week. And then let's see what the burn is here. Today alone, we are going to burn $122,000 worth of AwesomeX. So these are the 12% days, Friday and Saturday, and we burned 12% of the total burn balance. And since there's $1 million in the burn balance right now, we're going to burn another we've already been burning, but we're going to burn $122,000 today. Anyways, it's just so cool seeing this stuff work, seeing how it works, finding a nice price floor. The ROI has been fairly positive, smallly positive, but it's at like 7% right now for this, and sometimes it has been dipping, kind of low, but ultimately there's a huge ratio here, and I'm really not personally looking at the ROI too much on this. I'm looking at the ratio of how much AwesomeX you get per Titanx in the beginning versus over time. And so right now, to this week was 2.72 AwesomeX for one Titanx. That we don't actually drop below 2 to 1 until week 13. So you have the first 12 weeks. Now there's only 10 weeks left to basically get a better than 2 to 1 ratio for your Titanx in AwesomeX. And the reason that's going to be a good thing is because, oh my gosh, there's so many things building on AwesomeX right now. And it's just very cool to see. The Launchpad is funded. So we have a submission process available. If you go to awesomex.win and then you go to the Launchpad tab, there's a simple form that you fill in with the link to either your Getbook or your Google Docs. If you don't, I would hope people would be able to do a Getbook. It's free and it organizes your brain really well. Kind of gives you a good experience of how you're going to be portraying this information. Anyways, you could do Google Doc too, though, if you want. We really just want to know what the idea is. And I think there's 7 days left to submit community ideas and white papers. And then what we're going to do as a team is we're going to go through those, and we're going to find a project that we want to basically work with and help it get to fruition first, the first project, because the Launchpad is funded, which is great. So we will be able to do a project from people that submit. Very exciting to me. I think it's going to add so much economic energy and marketing, not only to Titanx, but to AwesomeX, the AwesomeX universe. And then we're also working with, there's 3 other pretty dialed in white papers right now that I am working with Dude right now on making sure that the one AwesomeX will build on Helios is net beneficial to all parties concerned, Helios, stakers and miners, and the ecosystem, and the Titanx as a whole, and AwesomeX. So anyways, they might get adjusted a little bit before we start building. Really, I think the prep work is important. The design is really important, and everybody being on board is important. And then once that happens, we can move pretty quickly and build very, pretty quick. Obviously doing it right and getting audited and everything like that. But the idea is the key. So that's what I got. Everything is going so well. I'm like literally living in my dreamland. I'm making a movie and also doing this. Goodness. I love all you guys, and the builders are great here, and the community is so great here. And we are the marketing team. So all these people are asking me to pay for marketing now. They're like, oh, I can give you all these views and all this and that. It's like, nah, it's all good. Even they're like, oh, I'll just do it for $50. I'm like, we don't need it. We are the marketing team. So that's what I got.
Great, awesome. That's a good way to wrap up there. But definitely, you're definitely making the right impact, the right noise, and yes, it's, I mean, we've been here and we've seen you talk about this before when this was still conceptual, and to see it launch pretty much, hitch free, seamless, has just been great. And so keep up the good work. And I must say, as you know, I think I've said this in the past, you probably have heard me say it, but the Build on Titanx founders are crypto's finest. They're the finest that you can find. And of course, when you couple that with the Titanx ethos, that there are no ICOs, no IDOs, no sacrifices, none of that rubbish, none of your pre-sales or pre-allocation of tokens, and which are subsequently dumped on so-called community, and your founders then slip away through the back door with your money, leaving you with a bunch of worthless tokens. That is definitely not what this ecosystem is about. And to see that our founders, I mean, if anything, they do demonstrate this, that in the same way that community members are looking for a fair environment to be part of, to participate, to do DeFi, I think equally you've got builders who are looking for a fair environment to build on, and really to make a major impact. I think Jake has talked about this. This is definitely capitalism, but capitalism in the right way. You see, incentives have to be aligned. If you get your incentives right, if your incentives are performance linked, you do definitely get much better results than an environment where your incentives are very skewed. And in effect, these are nothing but, I mean, of course, they masquerade these schemes as crypto projects, but they're nothing but, fraud schemes where they fleece the community they simply fleece the community, take the funds, and simply go. And I hope that there will be a look back period once things firm up with all these regulations coming up, and these people must have to look over their shoulders for the rest of their natural lives for the way that they have taken advantage of people and continue to do so in the name of crypto. And that's nothing but a fraud scheme that you normally find out there masquerading as ICOs and so-called sacrifices and so on. I'm sorry that I'm actually kind of jumping on my, kind of soapbox here, but Crypto Awesome, thank you for the summary. Thank you to all our builders here, Steve, and so all of these guys built from out of pocket, pretty much dipped in their pocket, built these awesome protocols, and just to see them perform. Now that is the story, because you know what, a lot of people, as much as said it's not possible to build a fair crypto environment and have it thrive. And if anything, the Titanx ecosystem has proven that the notion that is not doable has proven it wrong. Because like any other business, at whatever scale, you raise your funds, whether you start with family and friends and then build on to, a next layer of funding and so on. Whether you do it 2 or 3 series of fundraising, you do the work. And then you build your product. You come to market with something of value. If you then gain, if your product gains acceptance and it's a success, you're rewarded, and handsomely so, and rightly so. So I don't see why there should be a difference in actually, I don't even need to say, there should not be a difference here in crypto, or in this in a DeFi environment, because if we otherwise we're just simply aiding and abetting not just bad behavior but criminal behavior. And if there's one thing I feel very strongly about, is that we must see the end of this so-called ICO nonsense, sacrifice nonsense. And so we've all seen it on Pulse Chain, where it seems it's just simply become, scam central. Every week, people are being hurt. And it's painful because we wanted that environment to succeed. Anyway, I'm going to have to really pause at this point and say again, thank you to our builders. Let's keep building. The community is engaged. Our builders are engaged. In effect, you have our community members are our builders. And through this process of discussions and aligning our objectives, we have seen success. And can I just round up on this? I know I'm going on this, but can I just wrap up on this? If you take Ouroboros, for instance, Ouroboros started building about 9 months ago. I knew when they started when the founder started building this protocol around about the same time, the time it started. He started building. He actually had to went back to the he wanted to launch actually about a few months ago, but took comments and feedback on board, went back to the drawing board, and built a product that the community wanted, a collateral protocol that is just beautiful. And so this is exactly what we're talking about. And you see, the way this ecosystem, the Titanx ecosystem, is structured, I don't know whether you believe this. I said to Mike when I read it, I told him, listen, really, when I read this and I looked at it twice, and I had to go back to say, really, a protocol that is so complicated and so complex. It's a borrowing and lending protocol with a stable coin. This must have cost an arm and a leg. Now the founder hasn't got any Genesis wallet, so nothing raised through the process of mining or minting, whatever term you want to use. Nothing is going to a Genesis wallet. So I think is it 95% of the Titanx that is coming in. I think the other 5% or so is coming in through your ETH. As we all those who participated, we all kind of witnessed. But long and short of it, all the Titanx coming in will go into buying and burning the Ouroboros protocol. So in essence, the founder is not earning anything on this. He didn't have to do this because the Titanx ethos allows you to take 8% of once you build, because you need to come to market with something of value, built a protocol finished that could be used. You're allowed to earn on the service you provide. You're allowed to earn. You could earn 8%. And if you want to go in excess of, if you need to go above 8%, as long as you disclose it, full disclosure to the community, explain why you want to, why whatever fee it is you've imposed, why you're doing that. Once that is done, of course, full disclosure, I think you could definitely go move ahead. But the point being with Ouroboros, nothing is going to a Genesis wallet. Of course, he's going to build on it further. But I think I wanted to use this as an example of a builder that is contributing to the community, building something of value, and not extracting, as you normally find with these ICOs. You have a project that was built on, and I'll end with this, sorry, a protocol that was built on Pulse Chain, extracted over 50 million USD worth of your valuable crypto tokens or crypto assets, took that out of the community and delivered to you a copy of something that already existed. And you can actually fill in the blanks. You could tell what the story is. That has to end. That has to end. I know that the community members are being very thing about it, but I am surprised that the law enforcement really, nobody has really generated enough noise to get the law enforcement after these guys account for this thing. You don't take public funds and behave like this and think you don't disclose. It's not only being illegal securities, full disclosure, market manipulation. These are things that regulators look at. So these ignorant people who simply want to line their pockets, come in and do this over and over again and hurt people. That is not happening here in Titanx ecosystem. We'll keep doing what we can do. Now, everyone has their responsibility we got to keep our eyes peeled and make sure that we hold people to account, but we're going to do the best that we can do to scrutinize what comes through the door and make sure to the best of our ability, make sure that people are not hurt here. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Again, okay, that is not a promise. I must say that. So, I mean, things happen, of course, but it's not going to happen because the door was wide open and any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come in and just simply, fleece the community. That is definitely not what we are about. Okay, so thanks again to our Titanx builders. You really, setting an example here that hasn't been seen on this scale in this entire industry. So again, thank you. Mike, I'm coming off my soapbox now. I know you have an answer for giftware. Thank you. I'll hand over to you.
But can you guys still hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, regarding some of the some of the things is essentially what I was saying is when initially the launches had happened is I got server DMs and asking me if this thing is safe, and well, what I just did went over to the website, text different people. There were no audits or anything I could find. And then shortly after, some ways the site was not reachable, and initially there was even no information on Telegram or whatsoever. So and then initially
sorry Mike, can you talk about what project are you talking about? I'm sorry, there may be people who are not following on this. So yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's Polza, exactly, right? So and then the site was not reachable, and initially there was no information. So the thing is, for me, I know for sure is either the smart contract is safe or not safe, because a site is just a viewer to the blockchain, essentially, right? So now imagine, right? I'm going to the website and their site is not reachable. I'm getting messages from people asking if this thing is safe or anything. Is like, so in that moment, I made the decision to pull that off. I delisted that, and then obviously that's it is still delisted up to now. And I started digging a bit deeper, and then was just checking, okay, what is the pairing and things like that. So anyway, this is probably the quick summary, what the decision was made, and this was the conclusion up to now. And then another thing which I will probably also to ask is, as far as I heard, is like the audits just happened. You got them back. Why are the audits happening right now and not? It has launched, right? So why are the audits happening now?
Yeah, I know that this is probably the most frustrating part. And here's the hard part from my perspective is that we were directed to particular auditors early on, like 8 months ago. And one of these auditors took our funds and then refused to finish the audit, saying that they were too busy. So now we're in a situation where we don't want to dox that individual because it looks bad. Like, we were slow to getting the final stages tested, and that took many months to get these tested and working with the Omni Bridge code, right? That the interfaces on our contract alone exceed 36. it is very simple on the website. It's very simple for a user to mint. It's very complex on the back end. I don't think anybody in this room would debate that. So that was the problem. We were getting strung along with the release of the audit. They showed us the initial, but did not allow us to download or take it to show the community.
So why did you
And
launch then? If that's
so we launched because I had it privately audited amongst essentially some well-known.
Okay, but why is it? Is it why
Ethereum
was it
and
not
both
there
Bitcoin.
available? I mean, it's. I mean, it's like from the outside,
get
it's
it.
very weird, really. You know what I mean? From
Yes.
the outside.
Yes, 100, and that's why that's why we didn't come out and like I think on a space last week or a couple weeks ago we're not coming out crying about it. We're not. Like, we could have handled that way better. We are acknowledging that. My essential question is that a permanent ban from Titanx Hub? That's essentially the question. We had no problem with, I mean, the error was not with the code, it was with the we've talked about this on streams and and I've written all this out. I'd be happy to go over it again, but just for the sake of time, the error did not occur within our code. The error occurred elsewhere, and we have since gotten that taken care of. We have since relaunched, and everything is working great. And we try to go on streams and talk about it.
Okay, but
And
even if you
then
relaunch
now
again,
we've got. Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Like if you relaunch again, is like still. I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking. The question is, why are the audits happening now if you already launched? Like,
I was afraid that we were never going to
Why
get.
even bother
Sorry.
now? You've
Sorry.
already launched.
I get it. Well, so why the audits now?
Yeah, and
is
not before.
essentially because it was asked to get it done.
Okay,
And
but
so
the
I
thing,
got it
it was
done.
asked to get it done. Like, but did you not know this before? Like, I mean, there were the rules of build on Titanx.
Well, the rules that I understood were the threefold: was input token Titanx, create liquidity pair with Titanx, and it was the third one that Jake just went over it again. I think yesterday or the day before. I was not aware that having multiple audits before launch, or even a single audit publicly disclosed before launch, was a requirement. Sorry, I did not know that.
All right. Well, then I guess okay, maybe you just did not participate in these calls like every Sunday or something, or even listen to the interviews before, because I think we repeated that overly, pretty much, because I think that was like the initial simple things. I mean, the things like the rules are like fairly simple, actually, to be honest with you. It's like it's not like a complicated like a whole page or something which is written about it. So I mean, what I'm just trying to say is like I'm not trying like I want just everybody like I don't care what people build, essentially, because it's like people value whatever they value, and I cannot tell people to value something else. So like value is subjective. So like I will list everything. If you're an alien, and like we just saw how Ouroboros launched this week, or even Dragon X for that matter. They presented few days before the minting started. They presented an audit. I think there was like 2 audits to Dragon X, if I'm not mistaken. And the code was visible before the launch has happened, and people in the community, developers, same like as me and many others developers who were there, they expected the code and they saw like, hey, the audits were there, seems to be like nothing malicious or anything going on here, right? And then things like Polzer comes out and all these things happen. Is like, what's going on here, man?
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
I understand.
Exactly. So this is exactly what I'm just saying, is like you're making things for everybody harder. And the thing is, now you're putting people into places like, now I have to pull that off, and people are writing me now is like I'm being a gatekeeper for like Pulsar being a gatekeeper is like, hey, did you not see what happened to them? Like what has happened, like what they did all along until I made that decision? It's like it's just making harder for everybody in the whole ecosystem. I mean, the rules are fairly simple, and just communication. A lot of things can go wrong, and I know for a fact that is like we like in these technical things, a lot of things can go wrong. But you might as well just be like at least be send out the information, what is going on, what things are happening. Like we just try to be as safe as possible, and people can build whatever the fuck they want.
I completely understand where you're coming from. I really do. I hope that there's like just a little bit of grace, just in the sense that I'm trying to do everything right, and I went from being a member of the deployment team to really taking over all management of like writing code, building front end. Like my time has been stretched so thin, and it's incredibly hard to keep up with everything that's going on. And I don't think I think we have to admit just a little bit that sometimes requirements are put out there that by I'm not saying you guys, I'm not putting words in your guys' mouths, but other people say things that are requirements that really aren't. And there wasn't really like this super clear
So
white
you're trying
paper
to tell
from
me
day
that audits
one.
were not like a requirement? At least one audit? Like that was not like at least a requirement?
I think if I remember correctly, and this was a while ago, right? If I remember correctly, it was things I would like to see versus things that are mandatory before you go on to Titanx Hub. And really at the end of the day, it's completely up to you guys. I was just asking for clarity before I go on stream and somebody asked me this question. This is not my site. This is your guys' site. What you guys put up here is completely up to you.
I think
And I get that.
the principles which will follow in the Titanx Hub are the same principles for everybody else. I mean, even if let's put it this way, if Jake launches something tomorrow which doesn't follow those principles, I will not list him either.
Got it. Understood.
Absolutely. The principles are very simple. I don't care what people build. It's like I don't care. It's like you can build whatever the fuck you want. Follow the simple principles, and I will just list you, and that's pretty much it.
May I ask, is it polite to ask, is this a permanent ban on Pulsar?
Sorry if I may add. So it's not a ban. Don't refer to it as a ban at all. I mean, this is not just with respect to Pulsar. I mean, and I'm not suggesting one way or the other whether Pulsar is a great project or not. I know you've put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. Just looking at it in a bigger picture, I must say from the very beginning, audits were a requirement. I think if you look at Titanx protocol itself, Jake went to great lengths to explain that he got 3 audits on this, and it was definitely, he said, okay, he went to, he got 3 audits, but at least he was suggesting for protocols that are going to launch on Titanx that it should have about 2 audits. But if you look at that and the rationale for that, it makes sense. If we're talking about really having an environment where people could come in and participate safely. I mean, audits it's as basic as that. Otherwise, the risk just increases tremendously. We've actually talked about auditors who have not done their jobs or done their job properly. We will blacklist them. We will make sure that we have their name on, and at least to let people know. If we're talking about full disclosure, I'm telling you, I mean, of course, all of this is on a volunteer basis. But if we're able to say, okay, auditors who are doing their job properly, that we're able to have their names next to the product, products or protocols that they have audited, and those products have stood the test of time, I think those auditors need to be recognized. They've done their work. What we do not want, just like example you say, are auditors who have pretty much sabotaged the project that they're meant to audit, or simply not done their job properly. And if you've got the same auditor coming up in projects, or the same names coming up, as in not having that have not done their job properly, then of course that is information that I think people within this industry should be aware of. I mean, it will make auditors sit up. The bottom line is we're trying to make this a safe environment, and that is the very basic thing that we can, that I think should be offered here. And then, let our builders, the best product, let that win. Let the best builder and the best product win. But you need I think you need a playing field that everybody understands. Now, what I think the risk with listing Pulsar here is that somebody else coming down the road will simply say, oh, well, you listed Pulsar. They didn't have their audit and you listed them. Now, can you list me? And if you start creating all kinds of exemptions, and rest assured, we've had this discussion with other projects, and I'm going to actually go as far as saying to you, there's a project, a meme file, a meme coin called JakeX. It was named after Jake. It wasn't listed precisely because the Titanx ethos and the Titanx principles were not followed. And it doesn't mean that they don't launch. Of course they can launch, and people could participate there. And so there are at least one or two other projects that are definitely out there built on Titanx, but not listed, because it is quite clear what the principles and the ethos is. Definitely, you got audits, at least two or three admin keys, all of that, if no back doors, all of that is sort of basic and full disclosure. And I think, yes, you've attended a number of these in the past, and I definitely, Giftway, that we've spoken in the past, as well as Crypto Kool-Aid. And so I'm sure, I hope that you will, if you're on this side and you would sort of putting something in place, a framework, and it's not easy, that people, some sort of consistency is expected of you. I think the starting point will say, what is it that you would build and what would you start with? And I think audits would be really pretty much there, as basic as it gets. The other thing I would say is the pairing. As you know, what we're with the token economics of Titanx, it's a case of, rather than, and I'm not suggesting you're doing this, we're discouraging in a big way extracting value as a builder. So you look at all the other build on Titanx protocols that have done their work on this, look at their performance. This has become a revelation in the whole industry. And I think eventually it will be noticed by bigger and bigger players. But if you're not pairing with Titanx, as in you're not pairing your token with Titanx, it's going to be a bit difficult, really, to say that protocol. Let me finish on this one. That protocol is really following the ethos of Titanx. But in any case, I mean, of course, with other things as well. But anyway, yes.
But Plan A, probably just want to jump in there. And the thing I just want to say lastly here is, like, I'm not necessarily trying to be or be confrontational for some whatever reason. Is like, I think just if you're doing the same thing on the other end, and I was the one building, you're probably doing the same thing essentially, right? So it's like, it's not like I want some war or like some things out here. Like, that's the last thing I want, right? And it's like, I mean, it's like we're trying to make it easy just for everybody. Like, we want the builders, we need the builders, and people come in and we start building, right? And the thing is, like, there's no I mean, I'm just trying to be as simple as possible. It's like, people build what they want to build, and people will value the things which will be valued, right? And then it's like these few principles which you follow, and then that's pretty much it. It's like I don't really care like what you build. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm not very articulate what I'm trying to make my point is, but essentially it's like I'm not trying to look out for war. I'm not trying to be like, or the gatekeeper or whatever. It's like I'm trying to just keep things as simple as possible. I have a lot of my hands as well already, and I need to make a lot of progress in my own stuff. And I'm unnecessarily trying to. Uh, I have to deal with things which I actually don't want to deal with, and it could just be so. It could be so simple, essentially. Like this is my thought. And at the end of the day, it's like tech is extremely hard. And we're lucky that even these things work. And obviously, with audits and everything, we're trying to just make things as safe as possible. But obviously, there are things which can happen. I mean, this is what I'm just saying is like I'm not like like I'm just trying to make a point, which is tech is hard and things can happen, and that's why we do these things to just be as safe as possible. And that's pretty much it. And I'm not trying to be overly like I'm not it's not like, oh, people want to go to war or something. Dude, I have too many things I have to do to even be thinking about that really right now. So anyway, hopefully you got my point, and probably a bit emotional today, but hey, I think Bill on Titanx, like we got something very beautiful on Titanx up, right? And if you got something beautiful, you want to protect that, and that's essentially where I'm coming from.
There's no denying, Gift's not denying that what you did was not, I mean, he agrees with you. What you did, delisting Pulsar, made sense. His question is, moving forward, is it a possibility to get listed on there, providing he's getting the audits completed? Pulsar is paired with Titanx. I think he's not complaining. He's just asking the question, is it a possibility to get listed on there if he checks those boxes that you're requiring? And I also want to play devil's advocate here. If you go to Hyper, that code is not verified on Etherscan. The code is not public, and I know why, because he was trying to prevent other people from copying the code. But at the end of the day, nobody knows what that code is. It's not verified, and there's no way to know that it is safe. You can't go there and view the code yourself to see, okay, this is safe to interact with. There is that level of trust there, and obviously, we all trust Jake because this is, he's done several projects. He has proven himself to be trustworthy. But at the end of the day, it's not verified. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, a lot of these things also come down to trust in some ways, right? I mean, you trust the auditor doing his job, you trust a lot of other people doing their job as well. But the thing is, like, this, like, Pulsar, I don't know about it. And the thing is, the same way as like DragonX or Ouroboros in that manner, I didn't need to talk to Eric. I didn't need to talk to him or anything. It's like, yes, I did an interview with him. It's like, but I didn't need to talk to him. I went, checked the code and reviewed the audits. And I didn't like, he could, for all purposes, he could have been an alien. And that would have been fine with me.
Again, yeah, we all understand that. The question is like, is it possible?
Absolutely. I mean, that's not the thing. Is like, I mean, it's not like I just delisted because of the things which were happening. And if things are fixed and things are going well, of course I'm going to list it again. I don't care what people build. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like,
Mike, no one's attacking you, brother. No one's attacking you. Like, I love you. You're doing a great job. No one's attacking you. We're just trying to clarify where this is going.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Can I just say, I know we've spent quite a bit of time here on Pulsar. Can I just say that, Giveaway, if you don't mind, you could take this offline with Mike, see whether the boxes tick, the input the Titanx tokens, buy, burn, stake, lock, Titanx, pair, LP with Titanx. You know what that side is. We also know the no ICO, no IDO, which, as out of pocket you built this. So listen, I mean, that in itself is commendable. Audits, it's coming out shortly, or it is out. I think that's what I heard. I may be wrong, but once you get the audits ready, probably get it reviewed again, just make sure, because it really, we don't. I'm sure you wouldn't want any mishap going forward. In any case, let's leave it at that. Giftware, please take it offline with Mike. We can also have another update next Spaces, as in not the one in midweek, but of course, the one after our anniversary. Desk, over to you.
Yes. Am I clear? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, yeah. Thanks everybody that has spoken, and thanks to everybody that is here already today. I don't mean to go back to what has been said already, but the rules that are put in place, we all always see Jake's tweet. He he keeps retweeting that all the time. This community, what we have going is working well, and we have to keep it that way. If Mike goes ahead and does otherwise, other projects, other people coming behind is gonna reference that. So the way we have it, we have to keep it going that way. Please, let's take emotions out of this. He's not blacklisting anybody or working against anybody. No, he is trying his best to protect us. I don't mean to go back to that, but we just have to keep that in mind. Know the rules, follow the ethos, to keep the community safe, so that people can feel safe to, put their money here. And I do have a question for Baby Dragonex. I don't know if he's still here. He had mentioned that scale is not going to be paired with Titanx. I just wanted to to hear from him and see if he can elaborate a little bit on that. And I wanted to know like exactly what he meant by that, or if anybody else has knows the answer to that.
Yeah, I can elaborate on that. I've kind of helped advise on scale a little bit. It's paired. Its main pair is with Baby Dragon X, and so obviously any token that's in the Titanx ecosystem being paired with that is completely fine. He was just saying it's not gonna. The main pair is not directly tied to Titanx. All of the idea with scale is they kind of want an LP web specifically in the Dragon X kingdom. So all of the LPs that they are creating, the initial LPs, will be with Baby Dragon X, Dragon X, Hydra, Awesome X, all of those, and E280 because we're on there as well. But that's specifically what they're trying to go for, is just a web of liquidity just concentrated specifically in the Dragon X ecosystem, as that's where Baby Dragon X lives.
Okay, thanks. But do you know why Titanx is excluded? Other than
Well, I mean,
said?
it's the same reason why Flux is built on Inferno or anything like that, or Lotus is building on Volt. It's these leverage plays. By pairing with any of these tokens, you are inherently pairing with Titanx. It's just an extra leverage play on top of that. Does that make sense?
Okay, thanks, dude. Yeah, thanks for your explanation. Thanks.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of on to build on top of that real quick. It's kind of interesting what Volt is doing, especially with the wheel, because now we're going to be using all of these ecosystem tokens as input tokens for these protocols built on top of the BOT protocol, for the Volts on Inferno, the Volt on Hydra, the Volt on E280 and on AwesomeX and all the other ones. Like the interesting part about this is that there's going to need to be where you don't have enough of any of these tokens. It's not just Titanx, but in order to get any of these tokens, because they follow the ethos, you have to get Titanx. So ultimately, there will be a frenzy on BOT tokens because people are going to want to participate in the Volts on all of the protocols. I do. I mean, I don't want to sell my Inferno, but I'm definitely not missing out on Bull. and you have to use Inferno to get Bull, but you have to use Titanx to get Inferno. So it's really a genius, genius, guys. We are at the base of a mountain, and I don't even know if people can wrap their heads around it. I'm barely trying to, because this is so huge. In fact, this is literally changing the foundation of finance in general, and not just DeFi. Like the foundation of finance. Fair launch meets hyperdeflation. We have never seen it before. Our entire lives, like the verse talks about, we've been born into the matrix, man. I mean, every day we wake up and our dollar is worth less and less and less, no matter what government you live in, no matter what government money you're using. Every single day you wake up, your entire life, from the moment you're born, your dollar is worth less and less and less. And here's the interesting part about what Jake built. It's hyperdeflation and fair launch. Like, it's not just hyperdeflation and it's not just fair launch. It is both. And those two things combined on a basic financial level, we don't even know what's about to happen, guys, because we've never experienced hyper deflation ever. Because like in the 1970s, you can get a whole house for $8,500 and now it costs you $1 million in the same town. And we think that's normal. It doesn't have to be normal. It could actually, in the 70s, if hyperdeflation was a thing, instead of hyperinflation, if there was a different cabal, a cabal that cared about people, which is what we are a very, very small group, guys. 5% of the human population is in crypto. A fraction of 1% is in DeFi. A fraction of that percent is in Titanx right now. Like, you guys are seriously, we are all on the precipice of something that is great. I'm not financial advice. Obviously, guys, I'm really excited about this. So you can hear my passion. I'm passionate about this. And see, here's the thing about marketing. When you pay someone to market, they're marketing because you paid them. They'll market anything. It's like, they'll market whatever you pay them for. That's why I will never pay for marketing, because we don't need it. We don't want it, actually. I don't want that paid marketing. I don't want people to talk about this because they're paid to talk about it. I want people to talk about this because it is literally revolutionary. It is changing the whole way finance is going to be done. Now, not for everybody. There's always going to be CeFi and there's always going to be DeFi moving forward. The blockchain can't get erased. So we're going to all have an opportunity. The whole world. Okay, 5% of the human population is in crypto right now. What happens when that's 80%? And that's probably only a decade away. So what we're doing, I just want to encourage you all. Everybody, Pulsar, all you guys, yes, absolutely, dude. It just do that. Make sure that all the make sure. Like, Mike Dean's a really smart guy. He looks at the ethos. He's like, okay, yeah, boom, 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 all checked. As long as all those boxes are checked, you got the audits and all that stuff. I think he was also asking, it's like, why, the audits have to come out before the product is launched, and people need to be able to verify them, because that's why he was asking that one question. It's like, okay, well, now that it's launched, do the audits even matter in one sense? Because it's already launched, it's on the blockchain. Is it immutable, or is there ways to change the code? Because if there's not ways to change the code, I mean, I guess the audits will you don't need multiple audits at that point. You would just need one, because you couldn't change anything. So it's like, this is what it is now. So it's like, when I look at that, I'm like, yeah, I mean, those audits got to be done before you launch.
Thanks, thanks, Scripture.
And
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You finished?
Well, yeah. So if there's new protocols and things launched in the ecosystem on other tokens, those are probably more like in their own thing. Just in the beginning, all we got to do is make sure that happens first. Well, anyways, long story short, we're very early. We're all doing something revolutionary. We're all paying for it first, and that counts for a lot. So I mean, you spent a lot of time on that. And anyways, guys, we're in the right place at the right time. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Actually, the conversation we've just had concerning Pulsar is really, really important. I think for those of us who are looking at launching a protocol, and when I mean those of us, I mean community members who are looking at launching a protocol, this definitely would have been a useful conversation. So it's all it's good. I think we're quite open with these conversations, and it's really for the betterment of the community. So that's good, and I hope Giftware, I hope you take it in that spirit, of course. It's yeah, I think we're all in here for the same reasons. Marco, over to you.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Great conversations all around. It's just exciting, right? Just to see all of us talking about this and being, so passionate of what we're trying to protect, right? So, not to go back with the whole conversation of Pulsar, but Pulsar is good, right? The technology is good. It's great all around, right? But nobody else skips the line, right? Like we all had to build a certain way, right? We all had to do it a certain way. We had audits, we had things verified, we had things done a certain way. You know, you can't do certain things a certain way and then feel like you're skipping the line, right? I'm not saying Pulsar is skipping the line, but that's how it feels to certain other people, right? To attack Mike Dean regarding his list, and then hey guys, it's his list, right? It's his list that he came up with, that the whole community agreed with. Literally, like the first month Titanx came out, and everybody else followed it, right? If you're going to build on Titanx, everybody's free to do so. Just do it the right way. Make sure your audits are already done. Just like Dave just said, audits should be done before your thing released, because this is not pennies we're playing with, guys. This is like people's livelihood, people's life savings in certain these things. Do I recommend that? No, but people life savings are in some of these things, right? All it takes is one click of connecting to a wallet and it's gone. Not saying Pulsar has any issue like that. It doesn't. I've connected multiple times. It's great, etc. Right? I'm just talking as a broad, broad stroke, right? We have to make sure security all around, from top to bottom, is done before we announce it to everybody around the world, right? It's very important. Now, when it comes to as Titanx as the input token of these tokenomics, doesn't always have to be. And I only mean that by, if it's your first protocol, I personally feel like it should be attached to Titanx as an LP. Now, if your protocol is being built on top of core protocols that's already built, then no, it doesn't need to, because now the input token could be that original core token, right? It expedites the buy burn not only for Titanx, but for those core tokens too, right? So people have to think bigger how that works, right? Not only that, if you're going to build on Titanx, guys, the worst thing you could do, right, is try to be secretive with your protocol, right? So only keep into your little chat, not do that much streams, not speak to anybody, not to put your face out there every single day like all the other protocols do, Because at the end of the day, one, nobody really knows you. And two, unfortunately, for example, like Pulsar, when you have an issue during launch, right? One, a lot of people are scared to play with, but they don't really know what it is, right? Because I understand GIF and Kool-Aid, is doing their best with the coding, right? But where's the rest of the team speaking, showing, talking about it nonstop on stream, stuff like that? You need people to feel comfortable with protocols, right? And then when you have a little hiccup that just happened, right? It scares a lot of people, man. It does scare a lot of people. And not only that, it puts the people that promote it or talk about it in a bad situation, because they get blindsided with the bug or the glitch or whatever happened, right? Thank God it's fixed. Thank God everything's smooth sailing, everything like that. Like, that's awesome, right? But you have to understand, like, people get scared of these things. So, if you're gonna come out with a project, don't be secretive. Don't do this, because the worst thing that can happen to you is when you come out, a launch happens, something goes wrong, and now some people would never touch it again, And it's unfortunate, because I think it's phenomenal protocol. So if you're gonna build, guys, please, follow the, it's not setting, stone rules, but we all feel like it is, right? It's like the Holy Bible, what Jake did in the beginning with the rules, and everybody else has been following it. So, let's build, let's help each other out. If you're gonna build, guys, once again, be vocal, make sure you're on stream. Don't go ghost for 9 months and then you start showing up and then expecting,
Great. Let's move on. The Titanx 1-year conference next week. Let's fucking go. That's what everyone needs to be talking about. We all need to be reposting and spreading the news about how amazing Titanx is.
Yeah. Well, good. Yes, dude, you're definitely absolutely right. We've had some great discussions here. This was not pre-planned, but I think it's really been really good that we've had this discussion. In terms of the first, we've gone past the hour and a half mark. I would suggest we wrap up so at the 2-hour mark at the very latest. So if anybody has anything else to say, please feel free. This is the time.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to squeeze in here. Another thing we should be talking about here is Element 280. Dude, I have a question for you if you don't mind. I've been trying to figure out for the past week, but I can't. I guess I can just go on TG and ask, but so if I'm providing LP on the UI here, is there a way that I could view the rewards that I might be accumulating?
Yeah, so you can go to the Uniswap interface,
right,
and enter your LP tokens, the contract address for those LP tokens into the
right,
Uniswap, and it'll view. You can view all that. Now with so with V3, you earn rewards, and those rewards become claimable. With V2, all rewards are just the way it's designed. All the rewards are automatically added to the existing LP tokens you have. So you should
Perfect.
just see
Yep.
your balance on those tokens increasing.
Yeah,
and
that's
again, like,
that's awesome.
yeah. But yeah, as far as viewing your LP, you can go to the Uniswap UI to view all of it just like you normally would. We just wanted to create our own interface so that people aren't getting taxed in and out of their LP positions, because if you use the Uniswap UI, it will tax you in creating it and exiting it. So that was the
Yeah.
whole reason.
That's
But
awesome. Thank you for elaborating on that. It makes a lot of sense, and it's kind of nice for it to be like an auto feature. I don't have to really manage that or pull my position and then put it back in. And I don't know what gas fees are going to be in a month or two. Yeah, this is a long-term hold for me. This is fantastic. I really like the way Element 280 is set up. It's super easy for new users, and there's so many different things that's possibilities on this project. Anyways, thank you for answering my question. Mike, Plan A, thank you very much for having the spaces and having me on. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, sir. Rainman's got a question. What's up?
It's not a question, buddy. Just wanted to mention something. Yeah, so I just wanted to add about Lotus that I didn't say earlier, because I'm going to be hopping off in a second early, guys, because we have our stream coming up with AI and Steve and Chiz. And I wanted to say that, Lotus was designed to be one of the most hyper-deflationary mining protocols on the Ethereum blockchain ever created. And when Mike and I were talking on, I guess it was when we had an 8-person panel in one of our streams the other day, and he asked me what the halving was, and I misstated my answer. And the halving it's a compounding reduction that it mirrors the halving effect, and so it's going to be around 31 days in the halving of this token. And if you go to the white paper and you look at the virtual mining mathematics, you'll see that. So what in essence it's trying to do is not necessarily mimic a minting protocol in days that they're limited to mint. It's just doing it's like a parallel thing to a minting protocol to naturally cap the supply faster, in taking in the game theory of when we perceive the bull cycle to be and when we perceive you would like to have your max miners of Lotus tokens back. And that's all I wanted to add, because I forgot to say that earlier, because I've been rushing around all morning, and I just got in here kind of late. And I'm going to dip out, and I love the passion in the space, and I'm looking forward to our stream, and I hope you guys have a chance to join it. If not, it's recorded, of course. And I just want to say cheers to everybody, and enjoy your Saturday.
Great, thanks, thanks, Rainman, and wishing you a great stream. We're looking forward to Lotus, definitely. Okay, any other questions or comments? Please feel free to come up. Okay, I think whilst we're waiting, let me just say, with respect to respect to our first anniversary event, of course, for those of us who are regulars here, we know it's that the Titanx conference is a virtual conference. It will be held on the 26th and the 27th of this month. That's the last weekend of this month. Josh will be releasing some more communication on this, but essentially expect a timetable and the split of the 50 or so names we have into teams. So we've got what we call three kingdoms, and the 50 names will be split into these three kingdoms. The anchoring team is the Blaze team. And I think I saw Ali earlier on here, but yes, the Blaze team will be the anchor team for the event. So look out this week for more information on that. And I think we should just have fun during this event, and it will also present us the opportunity to raise questions, discuss, kind of project where Titanx is going, and the possibilities. I think Jake has spoken recently about a phase 5 and phase 5, the 6 and 7. So I think that will really be the conference will be an opportunity to explore these phases going forward. I need to acknowledge, actually, at this point, I'd like to acknowledge the work that Mackenzie does on liquidity. I think quite a number. I find a lot of her tweets really valuable and educational, and so definitely, Mackenzie, keep up the good work, and you are acknowledged, definitely. And I think Johnny Papa Vegas is also following in the same vein and doing quite a bit of work on single-sided liquidity lessons, and we will need a bit more of that, of course, going forward, because if Titanx ecosystem continues on its path, this really would be, we will need to work together as a community in the way we extract profit, which is encouraged. This is not a community where you're asked, where people are just sort of on your back. If there is, you take something off the table, of course, you're expected to do that. I think what has been encouraged in the communities, understanding how to do it and maximize the value that you take off the table, and of course keeping an eye on the community as well. So long and short of it, I think if you look at Johnny Papa Vegas's YouTube videos on this, it's been really good. You could take something off the table or profits without nuking the charts, and yeah, I guess that's to be encouraged. So we need more of these going forward. That's what I'm trying to say. So good. And I also need to recognize, I see Danu really used to attend our sort of very early on in Titanx, in these spaces, and so Danu, thanks for being here. It's good. Now I think if we don't have any other comments or contributions, we should look at wrapping up. Dude, yeah, I see your hand up.
Yeah, just real quick. There's no doubt we're gonna have fun. This is gonna be an amazing conference next week. And please, like I said, help spread the news. We're putting together some beautiful posts and graphics to help do that. And then I also wanted to point out, I think Marco was talking about getting back to the basics to kind of explain what Titanx is and help some of these new people understand at the core what Titanx is and what it does. and kind of leave out all the build on Titanx protocols, maybe discuss it at a high level, how it helps Titanx, but just get back to what is Titanx and how does it work. So keep an eye out on that, and please help comment, like, retweet his post on that as well. And thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, dude. Absolutely. Just to second what you just said, yes, we're having the introduction to Titanx ecosystem on Wednesday, the 23rd, and we're doing exactly that. It's simply going to be an educational session on, on Titanx. What is Titanx? What is the Titanx ecosystem? And that's definitely, and we probably will carry on. We'll do this maybe once every fortnight. It's something that has been requested for on a few occasions. And so, well, actually even more than a few occasions, it's been mentioned, but privately and even on, spaces. So good. So please, yes, we're looking forward to everyone's attendance, and we're looking forward to it being a lively discussion as well. So good. So now we're moving on to, we're sort of closing now, and we'll ask for closing comments. I think we can start with giftware, Crypto Awesome, Dude, Marco, James, and Mike. We can wrap up. We could do perhaps 30 seconds each. Giftware, over to you.
One cool little update I just want to throw up there, just wrapping up. We're creating what is going to be called like a hardcore buy and burn, which is basically going to be routing the Rapti through the Titanx first. So we're going to be hitting the Titanx and then burning the Pulsar. Anywho, super cool stuff coming very soon. But other than that, I appreciate all the time and patience more than anything that you guys have afforded us. Super appreciative. Beyond that, I'm excited to talk about Titanx, to be honest with you guys. Like, I feel like I haven't really had the ability to do so, and hopefully I will at the conferences. And that's all for me.
Great. Thanks, Giftware. Crypto Awesome.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, thanks for this space. I think it was very valuable, and thanks for being so consistent. Really excited about the conference, and we'll be pushing it out there. And just remember, guys, like, we are so early, and this is just the very, very beginning. 16,000 wallets in Titanx right now. That is not like a big stretch to get 300,000 wallets. And that will exponentially increase the amount of resources that come into the ecosystem. Because when people find out what this really is, and you're right, dude, go back to the Titanx white paper. That is the whole reason we're all here. Read that white paper like 5 times, let it blow your mind, and read it again. Then once you understand that, you will know why we're all so bullish. That's all I got.
Great. Dude, over to you.
Yeah, thanks. Quick reminder, we've got less than 24 hours for another payout for our NFT holders. Check out our website, go look at that. We've got over $350,000 that is accumulated in just a single week. And it's not too late for you to mint an NFT and get a piece of that. Cheers.
Thank you. Marco, your turn.
Yeah, so I just want to say how incredible this is, right? In a week from now, we're gonna have our first, our first Titanx conference, and how amazing it is that it's about to be a year, right? We all came up together just to talk about Titanx. And now we have 15 plus protocols, almost another 10 on the way. And everybody wants to talk about their protocols and what they do and how remarkable the tokenomics is and all that stuff. And back then, all we cared about was, when is Hyper coming out? When is Dragon X coming out, right? Like, we never imagined how much builders we're going to have now. We never imagined all the teams and the wonderful people and my God, some of the things you guys have built is incredible, right? Like, I've been in crypto since late 2016, and been in different communities, different projects, different stuff. And to see exactly what you guys are building and the features and stuff like that. Like, guys, this is DeFi 2.0, right? Like, this is truly DeFi 2.0, right? Like, the smart contracts, the tokenomics, and even the NFTs. Look at E280, right? Like, God, I love that token, right? That alone changed how NFTs are working, right? Like, now I didn't want to get rid of an NFT at all anymore, right? Because of what it provides, right? So I think what we're building is incredible. I think the third stage, right, when we reach the next stage, I think the future protocols and the future stuff that comes out is going to blow our minds even more, right? So, the sky's the limit to this thing, man. And every single person plays a role, every protocol plays a role, every dev plays a role, right? And just like Dude said, right, we have to make sure we don't forget about the basic conversation of what Titanx is as a whole, right? Because we're getting excited. We want to talk about all these new protocols, all these features, stuff like that. The new guy coming in doesn't know any of this, right? What they would know is what's the main thing they got to get first, and it's Titanx, right? So everybody work on your elevator pitch regarding your protocols, and don't forget, you need a 1-minute pitch for Titanx too. So I'm excited. I can't wait for next week. I'm proud of everyone, what they're doing. Oh man, you don't understand. Like, I don't sleep. I think about charts. Every time you guys come up with a new protocol, I'm like, fuck, I got to go back to the drawing board. It's a beautiful issue to have, but I'm loving every second of it, guys. Keep on, me. If your protocol is phenomenal, I'm going to shield the shit out of it. And it's just a friendly reminder, not one person on this panel, not one person and any of the teams or protocols has ever paid me or paid any other influencer on these panels or on these streams, stuff like that. These are all coming from the heart and the soul. Everybody is passionate about this. Everybody loves the code. Everybody loves sharing. So keep it up, guys. Keep it pure. Keep it pure. Don't let nobody become unpure. And let's keep it up, man. It's beautiful.
Great. Thanks a lot, Marco. And yeah, the machines win. They continue to win. When I look at the day 369 payout expected on, of course, the 31st of October, I look at it and I say, you know what? How can you compete with these machines?
And so you can't. You can't. Like I said, man. Like people laugh about these tweets, but I'm dead serious when I say this. We lost against the machines a month and a half ago. If you look at a month and a half ago and you look at the charts and the inflation, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's over, right? But at least in this story, right, we want the machines to win. In this story, we want the smart contracts, just like Jake Vision was in the beginning. He wanted to see a world where all the buying power, all the supply is locked up in smart contracts, right? Off the man of hands, a man of hands. So it's beautiful, man. It's phenomenal. And one last thing, nobody, not me, not you, not nobody has enough Titanx, and you never will. That's a beautiful thing.
Thanks again, Marco. James, over to you.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a great space this time. It was fast moving, and I unfortunately missed the middle 20 minutes, so I'm gonna have to come back to it. What I wanted to say was someone intrigued me by a statement they made. I think it was something like an audit came back with nothing. It was completely clear. The code was perfect, and all this type of thing. And I was thinking, that's really interesting because I come from a coding background myself. Let me just say that the ScaleX protocol, we asked our first auditor what the complexity was, 1 to 10, 1 being a simple token, 10 being 20 smart contracts interacting with each other. And he said it was about a 7 or an 8. And he found quite a few vulnerabilities, and we fixed a lot of those. So we're in second audit now, and I've been thinking about this. If we have more than 2 vulnerabilities, 2 things that need fixed in the second audit, we're going to get a third audit because this thing is complex. I'm not saying we're geniuses. I'm just saying we're doing things that no one's done yet, right? With calling other smart contracts. It's kind of sophisticated stuff, and we want to get it right. So it might be a third audit swinging through here. We're not going to rush this. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week ahead.
Thanks a lot, James. Well said, and thank you for all you do. Thanks. Desk. I'd like you have 30 seconds if you want to say something. Please feel free, and then of course Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, not much though, but I just want to say we're always looking forward to this space. And Marco summed up, he touched every area that I would have liked to touch upon. And yeah, so yeah, let's keep it clean, keep the community going. What we have is working for us. There's no need to change anything. So we have to keep it this way, guys. Thank you. I appreciate every one of you.
Thanks a lot, Desk. Thank you. Mike, over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess probably one of the last words, like I would just say, is like I think my intentions are pretty clear. We got something very beautiful on this Build on Titanx projects, and yeah, I think it's fairly simple. That I think more or less these principles are fairly simple, and I want people to build whatever they want to build. I don't care what people build. It's because at the end of the day, it's like other people value other things, and therefore I cannot make decisions if something is better or the other. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Yes, tech is hard, security is a spectrum, but nevertheless, we are trying our best to be on the safer side of things, and that also includes audits and things like that. And as just also Marco said early on, is like people have life savings here on some of this stuff, and that's why it's like there's no way you can mess up like this kind of stuff. Yes, tech is hard. Uh, Things can happen for sure, but nevertheless, I think clear communication, what is going on, talking about your stuff, I think that's just something which needs to be done, because otherwise, if something then goes wrong, is like things has to be clear, like what needs to happen or like whatever. Like at least there is a clear communication what's going on. Like things like in the dark, it's like people start making stories what is going on, right? And that's the last thing probably any project wants to have that. So anyway, definitely a bit emotional today probably, but nevertheless, I just believe the Build on Titanx is something beautiful, and that is something which yeah, we should definitely keep it that way. And obviously I'm still human, and I'm probably biased in my own ways and stuff like that, but nevertheless, I'm trying to keep it as principled as I can, and we just take it from there. Thank you for listening in, and I'll see you next Sunday, I guess. Is that right, Plan A?
Wednesday, and then of course, our first year anniversary weekend, which leads into the Sunday spaces.
Fantastic.
Great. Thank you. Lastly, the usual disclaimers apply. Nothing said here should be taken as financial advice. The conversation here has really been purely for educational purposes. Yes, there's a lot of work that's happening in terms of keeping the community safe, but the fact is this: there isn't any. The responsibility here lies with the community, if I may say, lies with us. So there's no, this is not a legal kind of obligation that is arising from the effort to try to keep this community safe. Just want to make that clear. So there's no legal obligation imposed on, say, any community member here to perform this role of keeping this community safe. What you have here are volunteers working together. We've got to make that very clear, particularly for our newcomers. Great. And again, it's been said in the past, but this is DeFi of the people, by the people, and for the people, for the community. And we're going to continue to do our best for you. We'll continue to work together, and I think supporting our builders. We have something truly special here that is emerging, and let's continue to support it. Let's continue to protect it, and continue to work together. So have a great weekend. The rest of the weekend. See you all midweek, and looking forward to seeing you again, of course, during our conference. And we're looking forward to having a great conference. Thanks, everyone. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Cheers.
Have a good one. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.